Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video. And have you ever looked at a card in a neutral collection and be like, wait a minute, that's actually a neutral card? I only ever see that pop up in Warlock or Shaman or whatever. I had this kind of proposed to me in a comment. I'll try and find it. I apologize if I can't get the comment, but of this type of video of 10 neutral cards that really only saw play in one class. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at 10 neutral cards that effectively only really popped up in a class and didn't really see play in anything else. So first, starting off with an old card and one that's been recently power crept, Evolved Cobalt. It's a 4-mana 2/2 minion. I mean, these are all neutral, so neutral minion, and had +2 spell damage. This was like a good finisher in old Freeze Mage. You discount it with Emperor Thorson and go like Frostbolt, Ice Lance for a lot of damage, and you could put in like, I think Forgotten Torches were meta as well, Fireball, all that. And yeah, Evolved Cobalt was a good finisher in Mage, but basically only saw play in Mage, and I can never really remember it coming up. And again, a lot of these you may remember in like really meme decks, or maybe I'm wrong and it saw play in other classes. Let me know in the comments below, but for the most part, these are pretty synonymous with just one class. At number 9, we have Loathesquire, the 1-mana 1/2 Inspire minion that gains +1 attack every time you hero power, and this card really never saw competitive play during its inception during TGT, all the way up until the introduction of Demon Hunter into Wild, and then Odd Demon Hunter or just regular Demon Hunter ran Loathesquire because you have a 1-mana hero power and it's an aggressive type of card. And the old even decks of the old days, and even in Wild, didn't really use Loathesquire. It was only really Demon Hunter that I could ever remember Loathesquire coming out. And it's funny how a card that never really saw play for so long just needed a brand new class to really kick it into gear, and it still sees play in Wild today. At number 8, we have Lioncracker, a rare overkill minion that sees play. 7-mana 5/10, doubles attack every time it overkills something, and well, it's literally known for Lioncracker Druid, where you gain a bunch of armor. It's seen zero play basically in any other class ever, although we might see it maybe with Provoke, with the newest expansion, seeing some play in Wild with like a charge OTK. Probably not, but pretty much Lioncracker is just synonymous with Lioncracker Druid and hasn't really ever popped up in another class. At number 7, we have Auction Master Beardo, the 3-mana 3/4 neutral legendary that you can refresh your hero power every time you cast a spell, and only really ever saw play with Uther decks, Uther OTK decks, where you get some coins or discount some 1-mana spells or a Libram card or whatever, and then you refresh your hero power and summon the 4 horsemen for an OTK. And other than that, didn't really see much play that I can think of in any other class, and Auction Master Beardo basically could be an honorary paladin card. At number 6, we have Desert Hare, the absolutely adorable little bunnies, but they're terror. You summon 2 copies of Desert Hare. You get 3 1/1 Desert Hares, and they're all 3 mana, which just happens to line up really well in Shaman with Evolve effects. And this card was an absolute nightmare during the Doom in the Tomb event. It was like literally the only playable tier 1 deck for quite some time when they brought Evolve into Standard, and Desert Hare, yeah, basically just popped up in those decks. Even like a Quest Hunter that like needed to summon minions didn't really utilize Desert Hare. It basically popped up into Shaman because it turns out when you turn 3/3 drops into 3/4 drops, it's pretty good. I bet you it'd be even pretty good in Standard with Revolve right now, but this card, it's in Wild, and Desert Hare pretty much only synonymous with Shaman. At number 5, we have Neferset Ritualist, 2-mana 2/3 minion that will fully restore the health of 2 adjacent minions. And basically, the only time I remember this card seeing play, and it was very good, was Combo Priest, the Divine Spirit Inner Fire Combo Priest during, I think, the Saviors of Old Doom meta, where this card was introduced. It's good with Endure Tolvir, which I thought about putting on the list, but I think I remember seeing it like Cold Arms Paladin is okay there. But overall, this is basically a priest card, restoring health, kind of a priest thing. Maybe there's some combos I'm not thinking of that it could pop into, but overall, nothing really tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and well, basically just did really good priest stuff, especially when you had Divine Spirit Inner Fire Standard back in the day. At number 4, we have Cheeky Ankle Biter, 2-mana 2/1, deal 1 damage, lifesteal minion. I honestly have no recollection of this card seeing play outside of Warlock. I've only seen this in Warlock, primarily Dark Lair Warlock these days, because you can damage yourself as well as give it rush and power of overwhelming for lifesteal. It's just a good Dark Lair card. And also Evenlock, I believe, ran this, at least some Evenlock deck lists ran it with some healing, some removal, and well, Evenlock damaged a lot, need the healing. It was good there. So yeah, a cheeky ankle biter. I really cannot think of this card popping up in any other class but Warlock, and it's been really good in Warlock, especially in those aforementioned decks. At number 3, we have, again, you would think this is just a Druid card, Injured Marauder, the 4-mana 5/4, or I guess 5/10 minion that you damage itself 6 damage with the battle cry, except you just get this off Oaken Summons and it's a 5/10. That's literally it. This is a 5/10 gain 6 armor Druid card. I don't think it's ever seen play. You could theoretically play it in like a priest with like Circle of Healing or Never Set Ritualist, but that stuff typically too slow, and it's just, yeah, a ridiculously broken Druid card, and that's basically it. Like, we even had an honest card about it, that just, it's so synonymous with Druid, it's just a Druid card. At number 2, we have a neutral legendary minion in Subject 9. I believe it draws like 5 different secrets from your deck. Basically, only Hunter ever utilized it. It's a beast which has really good synergies with Hunter, and you have like Cloaked Huntress and ways of cheating secrets out better. It just really didn't see any play outside of Hunter. You would think maybe Mage would use it because you know you could cheat out with Kirin Tor and Cabal Lackeys who could cheat out secrets, but no, it primarily only saw play in Hunter. I know my friend Jiminator, who's a Rogue main, who used to run this in Rogue and all that, but I'm not considering tier 4 meme decks. I'm considering more of the top tier stuff. And Subject 9 was basically an honorary Hunter legendary beast. Before we get to number 1, I have a few honorable mentions to go over. First is a Missile Launcher, a 6-mana 4/4 magnetic mech that would deal 1 damage to basically everything. It was really good with Venomizer in Hunter. It was a full board clear, and it saw play in Mech Hunter. But I honestly can't remember Missile Launcher ever being a real meta card in any other class. You would discover it randomly, in particular in Warrior in the Dr. Boom meta. But other than that, it was basically just a glorified Hunter card for its insane synergies with the Venomizer. Another honorable mention is Anubisath, a Warbringer. It's like a 9-mana 9/6 minion that gives all minions in your hand +3/+3 is a Death Rattle. Death Rattle Rogue use this pretty well because it could cheat it down to either 1 mana or cheat it with the Necreum Apothecary, right? You would cheat it with 1 mana with Anka or whatever, and it was just a really good hand buff card. You give like Boar's Charge or Vicious Scalehide, a huge buff, life steal and all that, and it was a legitimate deck that could really do some insane early hand buffing, not on turn 9, anything like that, and it led to a nerf of Necreum Apothecary, and this card kind of fell out of favor in Rogue, and it was basically just a Rogue card during its run in Standard. And the last honorary mention I will give is Humongous Razor Leaf, a priest card basically. 3-mana 4/8 can attack, which is perfect for Divine Spirit Inner Fire. Didn't really see Handlock play because Handlock kind of had moved on at that point where you could Sun Fury this, you could silence it and that in Handlock, but basically it was an Inner Fire card, it was a priest card, and well, it's actually in the core set and Standard. It sees absolutely no play unless you get it off of like the 3-mana spell in Shaman that gives you a 3-drop, and then you feel kind of bad. So what is the number 1 card that only sees play in one class? Honestly, you probably could put Injured Marauder in here, but I wanted to make it Standard Central. Yet another card that basically only sees play in Druid, and that's like Thresher, the 5-mana 4/6 beast that has, you know, the cleave effect, and it's just a Guardian Animals card. You summon it with Guardian Animals, and ironically, Hunter can play this with Guardian Animals, just Hunter can't ramp and do the stuff with Guardian Animals that Druid can, but maybe with the new expansion, they will be. Maybe this will become a Hunter card, but for now, this has basically always been a Druid card, a staple. Ever since its inception during Skullmance, it's been a very strong card, especially like Survival of the Fittest. It becomes a very, very thick cleave, and just giving this rush is just an insanely powerful effect. Lets Druid catch up on the board, and just, yeah, it's a Druid card. I just always talk about Druid when I think about like Thresher, and yeah, it's actually neutral. So there you go. That's my list. Let me know in the comments below what cards I missed. I actually had a list of like 20, so I had to trim it down. So there's lots to talk about, or let me know what I'm wrong about, which I usually am. So there you go. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.